All right, 2.5, day 1. Reasons using properties from algebra. So we have these algebraic properties of equality. We're going to let A, B, and C be real numbers. So we're going to be writing these in terms of A, B, and C. But we can just think of those as any real numbers. So the addition property is if A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. So if we know A and B equal each other, we know if we add the same number to each of those, they're still going to be equal. So A plus C equals B plus C because we know A and B equal each other and C is the same. So an example of that would be we have 2x minus 1 equals 9. We know 2x minus 1 equals 9. That's A equals B. And we add 1 to both sides. We have 2x equals 10. So that's the same as A plus C equals B plus C. We added 1 to both sides. The subtraction property, if A equals B, then A minus C equals B minus C. And so similar to that, if we have something set up that's equal to each other, 3x plus 4 equals 12, and then we subtract the 4 to the other side, or subtract 4 on both sides, that's the subtraction property. Say 3x equals 8. The multiplication property, if A equals B, and hopefully you see where this is going, A times C equals B times C. So if we have x over 2 equals 10, then the multiplication property, if we're moving 2, multiplying 2 on both sides, that would be that multiplication property to give us x equals 20. So we're looking at, in that case, what got us from x divided by 2 equals 10 to x equals 20. And it was by multiplying by 2 on both sides. That was our multiplication property. It got us to x equals 20. The division property. If A equals B, then A divided by C equals B divided by C. And so if we had 2x equals 12, and we needed to get to x equals 6, we would divide both sides by 2. That's the division property. The substitution property. If A equals B, then A can be substituted for B in any equation or expression. So if we know A and B equal each other, we can substitute A for B or B for A in any equation or expression. So if we know x equals 40, and we have 2x plus y equals 20, we know we can substitute 40 for x. And then we would write 2 times 40 plus y equals 20. We substituted in 40 for x. In this case, x is like A and 40 is like B. The distributive property. Is A times parentheses B plus C equals A times B plus A times C, where A, B, and C are real numbers. So the distributive property is when you're distributing that A into the parentheses and multiplying it by B and multiplying it by C. So if we had, as an example, 2 times x minus 4, that's going to equal 2x minus 8. We're multiplying by 2 to everything inside the parentheses. That's the distributive property. We're distributing that 2. Okay, so if we need to solve 2x plus 5 equals 20 minus 3x, we need to write a reason for each step. Writing a reason for each step. So the first one, we have the equation 2x plus 5 equals 20 minus 3x. That's what we have right up here. Exactly the same. So that is, as a reason, that is our given. It was given information. That is known information. So given is what we want to write. Then we drop down to the next one and we see 2x plus 5 plus 3x equals 20 minus 3x plus 3x. So we're trying to move that minus 3x over to the other side, so we're adding 3x to both sides. So the key word there, add 3x to each side. So that's our addition property. The addition property. And so here in the middle as an explanation, I'm going to put in add 3x to each side. And this first one was the original equation. Original equation. All right, so the next step, we have 5x plus 5 equals 20. 5x plus 5 equals 20. So what did we do to get 5x plus 5 equals 20? We combined our like terms. So we combined all of the 2x plus 3x and the negative 3x plus 3x. So we combine like terms. And what is that called when you combine like terms? We are just simplifying. So simplify. We simplified it. We found a way that we can combine something to make the equation smaller. Simplified, we combine those like terms. Then we get from 5x plus 5 equals 20 to 5x equals 15. What did we do to get from 5x plus 5 equals 20 to 5x equals 15? We had to subtract 5 on both sides. So that is the subtraction property. Subtraction property, because we subtracted 5 from both sides. And then that last step, going from 5x equals 15 to x equals 3. From 5x equals 15 to x equals 3. What do we do to get there? We would divide each side by 5. If we divide each side by 5, that is the division property. All right, this is basically a proof. This is one type of proof that we might do. You generally will start off with a given statement, and you'll work your way through the problem, identifying each step, what property you used to figure out each step. Next, we need to solve negative 4 times 11x plus 2 equals 80 and write the reason for each step. So our negative 4 times 11x plus 2 equals 80. That is exactly what we had up there. So that is we're just writing our original equation. That was our given information. That was given. But then to get from that to negative 44x minus 8 equals 80, what did we have to do? We had to distribute negative 4 to 11x and plus 2. So we had to multiply negative 4 times 11x and plus 2. But even though we are multiplying here, this is the distributive property. We had to distribute into the parentheses. So we multiply negative 4 into those parentheses. And that is the distributive. Distributive property. All right, next we get to negative 44x equals 88. What did we have to do to get to negative 44x equals 88? We had to add 8 to both sides. So we added 8 to both sides. That is the addition property. property. Okay, and then the last step, how do we get from negative 44x equals 88 to x equals negative 2? We divide each side by negative 44 to get x by itself, right? So divide each side by negative 44. So that's the division property. All right, here we want to solve the equation. Can I skip over one? All right, I think this one is actually your second one. So solve the equation and write a reason for each step. So we have 5x plus 8 minus 2x equals negative 2 times 2x plus 17. So that would be our given statement. Our given information, our known information. Next, what would be the next step I might do? Hopefully you're thinking simplify, combine your like terms. I want to combine my like terms here, so I'll get 3x plus 8 equals negative 2 times 2x plus 17. So I simplify. Simplify. And then from there, what might I do next? I'm going to distribute my negative 2. So the 3x plus 8 stays the same for now. And then I multiply negative 2 times 2x. Gives me negative 4x. Negative 2 times positive 17 gives me negative 34, so minus 34. And that's the distributive property. Now notice with the simplifying and the distributive property, in this situation, we could have done the distributive property first and the simplify second if we wanted. That's okay because we were working on opposite sides of the equal sign for each of those. So in some cases, the order of these steps doesn't matter, but generally, everything does need to has a specific order that you would do things in. All right, what is the next thing we could do here? The next thing we could do. Well, if we want to combine our x's, we would need to add 4x to each side. Then adding 4x. That will give us 7x plus 8 equals negative 34. And if we added the same thing to both sides, that is the addition property. And then we want to still be working to get x by itself, so we want to move the 8. So we would need to subtract 8 on both sides. So we get 7x equals negative 42. Negative 34 minus 8, we're going further negative, so we go to negative 42. And that was the subtraction property. Subtraction property. So again, we're just looking at every single step that we're making. Then from 7x equals negative 42, we want to get x by itself. So what do we need to do to get x by itself? We divide both sides by 7. So we get x equals negative 6. And that was the division property. Division property. Right, and then this one should be our last one. Want to solve the equation and write a reason for each step. So go ahead and pause the video, try and do this one on your own. Then unpause and we'll go through it. All right, hopefully you work this out, and this is what you've got. Our first statement is our given statement, and the second statement, I distributed the 3 into the parentheses, so that was the distributive property. It gave me 6x minus 7 equals 8x minus 9. Then I wanted to combine my x's, so I subtracted 6x on both sides. So since I subtracted, to get to negative 7 equals 2x minus 9, that is the subtraction property. Then I wanted to combine, work to getting x by itself, so I needed to move that negative 9, so I added it to both sides to get 2 equals 2x, so that was the addition property. And then to finally get x by itself, I needed to divide by 2, and that gave me 1 equals x, which is the division property. All right, that's it for the notes today. Work on that homework.